Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where I just want to point out real quick, I don't even know why I did this off camera, it was just kind of a spur of the moment thing right before I started the episode. These guys are no longer garrisoning. I have decided to move them back to the USA frontline, mostly because I feel like, yeah, we have a supply issue over there, there's no doubt about that, but I feel like the amount of gain that we saw was maybe not worth what we're actually losing by not having those divisions there. We'll see if that's true or not. We'll see how that pans out. For now, though, that is what I've decided to do. I've also switched that back to aggressively attacking, so we'll just mostly ignore that for right now. It's probably not going to do much of anything, is my guess. I just want to check in on our lockdown progress on the Atlantic here. Now, more specifically, I want to hop over into the North Atlantic here. I want to grab perhaps this fleet here, and I want to split this fleet. So we'll have the selection. Actually, we'll just split the selected task force in half. That's the easy way to do that. We'll select this, grab this here, and we will make sure that they're set to reinforce, and we'll just bump that up. Fantastic. And we're actually going to need to create a new theater here, aren't we? Yes, we are. So we're going to call this, I guess we'll just call this like the Nordic region. Oh, wait. Am I a moron? I think I'm a moron. I'm pretty sure I'm a moron. Okay. What I actually want, can I just drag these? Can I? No, I cannot. So how do I get them back in here, back into the North Atlantic? Because I'm pretty sure that we don't have anything in the Bay of Biscay. And that is correct. This should absolutely be in the North Atlantic. We could, I suppose, move them into the reserve fleet. Or what we could do is we could simply try to move them up here. Oh, I think we need to select these. We could simply move them up here into this fleet, and then I want to make sure that we're selecting the correct ones. Yes, these guys. Move them into a new fleet. So I guess it's kind of an awkward way to do it, right? But I guess we can do it that way. Sure. It's certainly on the awkward side. So there's medium caliber semi-armor piercing shells. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and grab... We're actually getting really close to done with the naval tree. The only thing that we can actually grab here is in cruisers, which we're not currently making any of those. Naval doctrines we could grab, though. Carrier organization and naval targeting. Those are cruisers. Battle cruisers and battleships, though. We could just start working on these. I suppose that'll be okay. We don't have any carriers, but... that'll be fine, I suppose. Okay. So that's all well and good, I feel like. We have outdated equipment in production. Yeah, that's because of our current ships. That's to be expected, of course. So there we go. And oh, the other thing that I wanted to do was I wanted to hop over here to the South American theater and tell these guys, try to get going as soon as they can. They can't currently because we are lacking naval supremacy, I believe, here. Yes, we're currently lacking naval supremacy here. But that will, of course, change. Did I just... Did I just see some movement? No. Surely I didn't. Maybe I did. What's going on over here? Hold on a moment. We're winning fights? No, we have not moved across this river. Or maybe we did, but briefly? They seem to have far fewer troops. Maybe they are reorganizing their troops or something? I don't know. This is interesting. I mean, there's still this 16 units here. I don't think we're actually going to be able to push through here. Yeah, I think they're just moving troops around. I think that's what's happening. I don't think we're actually going to get any gains here. Yeah, that guy's wounded. But the idea here is that I just want to keep running this. And actually, I would love to get additional troops over here. We just are really lacking in the supplies. That's our main issue right now. I think I'm actually going to create a new army here and assign these unassigned divisions to it. We're not going to send that army... This is in the South American theater. I actually meant to put this in the North American. So we'll do something like that. We're not going to send them over yet, and we're not even going to have them be in this army group yet, because I'm not 100% convinced that that is a good idea, considering that we do have a major supply issue over here. But I wanted to run these attacks. I guess I'll just go over why I wanted to do this. Because I want to start chipping into their supplies and their manpower. I don't actually think that we're going to be able to cross this river anytime soon. This is a big river. It's going to be difficult to cross. But, are you still guaranteed by Ming? Yes, you are. If those guys weren't guaranteed by Ming, I would declare on them, but they still are. Okay, so there is some things happening over here. I don't think this will result in anything major. But yeah, there's definitely been some troop redeployments over in this region. So that's good to know. Once again, I don't think that'll result in anything whatsoever. Now, we do want to start working on our Nordic Sea control over here. That said, there's nobody that can get in there. So, I mean, assuming that they can't make it through these with the full naval supremacy. They can. It's just they're going to take a lot of damage, probably. There's advanced medium batteries finishing up. We will go ahead and grab... Let's see. Anything else down in here? No. No, there is not. I think that we're going to go ahead and grab these cruiser bits. We've somehow missed this improved airplane catapult. Okay. We'll grab that. That'll be fine. We can modify our government. We could add in an aircraft designer. That is a thing we could do. Oh, that reminds me. This airbase up here, I noticed that this airbase was not at its capacity in between episodes. So, I want to try to fill it up a bit. It looks like it has roughly 800 available planes, so we will put in some fighters, and we will also put in some bombers. Do I have any higher level bombers than Tactical Bombers 1? No, we should probably think about doing something about that. That would be nice. We're going to put in about 300 we're going to put in about 300 fighters, and we're going to put in about 500 bombers here. So these fighters, they're going to be set for air superiority over New England. It's probably going to be challenging. Are they going to... Oh, there's supply issues in the strategic region. Yeah, I mean, that was to be expected. One thing I wanted to check. Kamikaze strike, air supply. Increases supply in the area. Is affected by mission efficiency. I believe this has to have transport planes, though. Which is something we might want to consider producing. Let's see, that would be these lads right here. So we'll just do that. I'm going to take this up past all of our Navy bits here. There we go. And I would like to repurpose a few of these factories. I'm actually going to temporarily put the transports up top. And we're going to give this guy 10 factories, and then we're just going to cut a few factories off of, I think off of motorized. So we're going to bump those down to 140, and those 10 factories can get to work on transport planes. Okay. Because I would definitely like to be able to supply this area, if at all possible. Okay, so this base, of course... These tactical bomber wings, I want these guys over New England, and I want them in, ideally, close air support. Excellent. Okay, now we're going to probably not be super efficient at that because of our supply issues over here. And that is, of course, noted. Yeah, it looks like they were just shifting around some of their troops, maybe bringing fresh troops up to the fight, is my guess. That's okay. I'm still going to continue attacking here. I'm not actually concerned about this. Okay. Hang on a moment. What is going on up here? Yeah, that's owned by us. Why is this colored differently? Oh, okay. For some reason, it just hasn't snowed in these two states. Okay, that's really weird looking. That is really, really weird looking, but whatever. I guess we'll accept it. Next nuclear bomb is currently 36.9% done, and it will be ready in roughly 115 days. Okay, sounds good. Nukes are going to be a key part of our strategy. We're definitely not going to create a nuclear winter. Oh, we can free up a... Hang on a moment. Malaya. There we go. We can free up a civilian factory, is what I was trying to say. Fantastic. Advanced heavy batteries. Wonderful. 1940 cruiser hulls? Why not? That'll only take 18.7 days? That is not a number. That'll take 87 days. And yeah, this is more like what I expected to have happen here. I didn't actually realize that they were going to be doing some redeployment, but it looks like they brought in additional supply, so this is ending up not being great for us. Maybe we'll manage to get in here with this this invasion once we actually get the naval supremacy that we need. This naval invasion support... I'm noticing that we have battleships and destroyers in here. Yeah, that's okay, I guess. We don't have any battleships currently produced. When is our next battleship going to be produced? Or perhaps our first battleship going to be produced? Let's see. These are destroyers. 1 October 1946. Okay. That'll be yet this year, so probably this episode is my guess. We're going to get started on moving troops into this force. And this force is mostly just going to be on area defense right over here. We're just going to keep them there. And they'll just pile up over there for now. Super heavy armor-piercing shells finishing up. That is great. Let's go ahead and grab all or nothing cruiser armor scheme. Sure. That'll be fine. I just want to wrap up those naval battles. Yeah, the enemy is stronger than us. That is to be expected. That is 100% to be expected since we're having supply issues. Well, that is different. How did this happen? Is Newfoundland at war with somebody? They're guaranteed by Ming. Has there always been this little jut? I don't think so. I'm a little confused about what's happening here. Okay. I might have to go back and look into that. I don't think we're at war with Newfoundland, so that's going to be interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting. The real question that I have right now, though, of course, and I ultimately want to have a whole lot more of these being built. But the real question that I have currently about these transports is, how many do we have? We have 1 in our reserves. That is excellent. So, I want to add a new air wing here, and I want this to be transport planes. And this is probably going to bring us up over the cap, isn't it? Let's just put in, for right now, 200 transport planes. Let's pull out 100 tactical bombers and 100 fighters. And then these guys, we don't have 100 transport planes, or 200 transport planes. But I do want to put in air supply. And they're going to deploy... I don't know what it's going to look like deploying into this same base. That's going to be interesting. And yeah, we can see that we are definitely requiring additional supply in the strategic region. And yeah, this is all expected to happen. The question is, oh, hello, we now have 2 transports doing air supply. There is 0% mission efficiency right now. The question is why? Lacking range to completely cover area, minus 7.4. Airbase has insufficient supply. Okay, fair enough. We're trying to supply from an airbase that doesn't have supply. I suppose that makes sense. And they're lacking fuel because they lack supply. Fair enough. Okay, let's hop into our research here. I'm interested in seeing... Let's see, carriers. We probably want to get some of those going quite soon. We don't have any right now, so I think our next slot that comes up, we want to work on carriers. We have free dockyards. That's something I'm not used to seeing. What happens if we bump this up to 100? Is it still free? Yeah, because we simply don't have the demand. Okay, fair enough. In that case, I'm actually potentially interested in... I'm going to put in another submarine hull here for right now because we have a huge lack of submarines, but we're probably going to shift this over in a little while. Shift this over to carrier production. We're not really in a position to do that right now. So, of course, because we're trying to supply from an airbase that doesn't have supply, I think we may as well have these guys get on out of there. Okay, and we're going to bump this back up to 300, and we're going to bump this back up to 500. Okay, so that'll do for now. This is 1608. We could actually bump this up even more. We could bump this up to 600, and this up to 600. And so we shall. We are, of course, still going to be low on fuel over here. Our supplies in Boston, not going to be great. There's no doubt about that. So the idea is, I think, to try to use carriers to improve our supply over here. That might be able to work. Yeah, no movement over here. I don't expect movement over here. All I'm trying to do is inflict casualties and use supplies. Because if we go into our logistics over here, we can see that our infantry equipment, we currently have a surplus of 2.1 million units. So we're interested in using some of that up. So that'll be fine. This division can go ahead and get assigned to this army. There we go. Wonderful. Oh, hello. This is getting up there. We're now considered stronger than the opponents. I mean, we could try to just leave this to attrition its way through. We may eventually break through. If we're willing to just throw all this away. Which I kind of am, I think. I just want to check up here on cruisers. Yeah, that's everything that we can. What is this? Uh-huh. There's a tiny little technology in the corner? I didn't realize that those existed. Are they anywhere else? Is that literally the only one? Why is it there? Why is it not an offshoot, like up here, and just move everything down? I'm so confused. Is there anything else of those? Actually, yeah, look at this. Motorized rocket artillery. Interesting. I had literally no idea that existed. Regardless, I don't actually want to research this. I want to research carriers. No, I don't want to replace that. I want to replace this one. Super heavy battleship hull. That took a while. Okay. We'll go ahead and get that one replaced. Fantastic. Okay. So yeah, I think we may end up being able to push through here just with sheer attrition. Maybe. We'll see. They may just continue cycling their troops, in which case we're probably not going to get too much done. But I think it's fine. We're mostly waiting at this point on some naval supremacy over here. We have gotten naval supremacy over here now, which is interesting considering we only have the one ship. Currently. Otherwise, we are currently utilizing 2 dockyards? So we have a few ships that are in queue in Boston. Just wondering what these 58 are up to. Docked in Gambia. Oh, okay, right. This is our naval invasion support fleet. That makes more sense. Excellent. So we are stretched pretty thin on our submarine fleets, but we are working on that, of course. Our infrastructure is coming along. The question is, when are we going to be finishing up our infrastructure? And actually, the answer to that, quite soon. Quite soon. Probably not this episode, but I think certainly next episode our infrastructure will finish up. Do we need any infrastructure anywhere else? How about Galapagos? Nope, not Galapagos. Okay. Nowhere over here. Sounds good. Hello, what are you? Hi, Rotterdam. You need some infrastructure. Oh. No, you don't. Okay, so Rotterdam needed some infrastructure. Let's go ahead and pop that right on up to the top. Technically, that is in our ally, but that's okay. Or, not our ally. This is what, a dominion? What do they call it in this game? I forget what they call it. It's our vassal. That is inside of the Netherlands, and they're in our faction, yes. Expeditionary forces. Dominion. Yeah, they call it Dominion. Fair enough. Okay, so as far as this goes, looks like we're just mostly attacking about every time a supply shipment comes in. Yeah, we're definitely lacking on the supplies over here. We already knew that would be the case. Now, I was reading that taking victory points can help with that. Apparently, victory points help with your supply flow. I don't know exactly how. I don't pretend to know how these mechanics work, but apparently it can. Now, these guys are... yeah, they're set to go, but we are lacking the naval supremacy over here, of course. Yeah, that's to be expected, considering that we are lacking some submarines. We are making a lot of them, though. We're making roughly 1 per month per line here. So we should be able to get this all maxed out. I'm not too concerned. Oh, hello, Hudson Bay. How did I forget about you? We should definitely attempt to do something about that. These guys here. Let's go ahead and split them in half. We'll grab these guys, make a new fleet out of them, and we will tell them to patrol up in the Hudson Bay. We'll tell them to automatic split off and automatic reinforce. Excellent. So we just made it so that we need 50 more submarines. Hooray! Well, that's something. Regardless, we have the Atlantic pretty much on lockdown, it looks like. There's a few locations where we don't, but we're working on it. The question is, just how bad is our air coverage over here? Actually, we could continue enlarging this wing. I'm not sure there's any point to that, though, considering I think that we currently have an extreme fuel lack here. Yes, indeed. Yes, we do. So, let's see. That's pilot exercises. I don't think there's anything we can really do with that right now. We'll need to work on getting additional supplies to this area. There's no doubt about it. That's pretty much what needs to happen. Also, we're going to get nukes. So that's going to be interesting. We'll see if we can, you know, cause any massive panic in the world. Maybe that'll break this kind of stalemate that we've been in for a while. Mostly due to my own incompetence, I'm sure. The Labrador Sea, yeah, we're definitely having some submarine shortages. We require additional subs. And everything else. Ooh, that's a lot of Ojibwe ships. That's a lot. Luckily, we can outproduce them. And so we shall. It's just a matter of time. I'm a very patient person. Perhaps to a fault. Perhaps patient to a fault. Regardless, I'm completely fine with this. Like, this isn't even an impatience thing attacking here. It's It's completely calculated. I'm just trying to utilize supplies. That said, we also need to utilize supplies. That is to say, get some of them. So I'm interested in seeing, with carrier operations, what exactly happens if we try to supply off of a carrier. Because we learned what happens if we try to supply out of an airbase that doesn't have any supply. It doesn't really help much, if I'm honest. So that's the thing. Actually, yeah, we should do more ground crews. We'll boost that. I'm 100% okay with it. We could cancel this one over... Was that over here? Yes, that was over here. We're going to cancel that. Okay. So this will gain us some efficiency, but I don't think this is going to be too much because we need a lot of... Oops. We need a lot of supply over there. However, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to still be very confused about what happened here. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I'll see you all next time.